Welcome, everybody, to another round of 0 Point Reviews with Alien Resurrection. I am Jeff. I am joined, as always, by Kevin. There is absolutely no point to review this movie, but we still fucking are, so welcome aboard for Sigourney Weaver's fourth and final fucking entry in the Alien franchise, but she's really not Ripley in this one. Kevin, I gotta ask, did you see this shit show in the theaters, or where did you first see this one?
Okay, so I did see it in the theaters.
What? Are you fucking kidding me?
No. I had to ask my friends that I worked with at the movie theater tonight. I pinged them all, like all 8 of my friends that we worked together. I'm like, you guys, I got a problem. I'm on tonight. We're recording, and I can't remember if I saw Alien 4. Did we watch Alien 4 in the theater? Did we watch a screener of it? And everyone's like, I don't know. What year was that? I said, 97. And my friend just says, all I remember was Titanic for like 3 months straight. And I'm like, that's why we didn't remember this fucking shithole.
I'm king of the world. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe down below, and comment, because we're going to want to hear about it after we finish this review, because that's right. All have a story about this movie.
I don't remember. We must have watched this in the theater. I don't recall seeing it at all, but I know I was working there at the time. I know we played the goddamn movie. I remember seeing the marquee for it and shit.
Yeah.
But I don't remember seeing it in the theater. Like, I remember watching it at, like, on Stars, maybe.
Stars. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. I remember seeing this in the theaters only because of the commercials on TV made it seem like this was some awesome flick that was coming our way, and written by Joss Whedon and directed by some dude I've never heard of before. No offense, but I don't know what he'd done before that or done after that. But after going to the movie theater and then subsequently walking out of the movie theater, I wondered, what am I doing with my life that I'm seeing some alien knockoff movie that plays more like a Firefly episode than an actual alien entry? Because quite frankly, this is a horrible alien movie. It has no semblance of being an alien film in any way except for the xenomorphs. And quite frankly, we don't even get Ripley in this. We get a Ripley clone. So we actually don't get the real Ripley in this movie. That might have been what enticed Sigourney Weaver to come back, is to play a variation on Ripley, somebody a little harder, more edgier, way more extreme. It's 97. It's Extreme Games Alien, baby.
Yeah. And she was more extreme. She was really unbelievable. But it took 8 tries to get this Ripley. She was Ripley number 8.
Especially when she has lines known simply as this.
Fuck to get off this boat.
It ain't me.
Oh, I'm sorry. She had acidic fluids. That's I'm out.
When you got witty dialogue like that, hey, I'd sign a blank check too.
Kinda. I remember reading about this for a good long time prior to it even filming. Like,
yeah, I do too.
Wizard magazine. Do you remember they were all over this shit? And they were
that
like,
Starlog, I want to say, or yeah, Starlog, I want to say.
Yes, and they were both quite adamant about saying Sigourney Weaver does not want to come back for this movie. Jim Cameron is not coming back for this movie.
Oh, he was crystal clear, not fucking interested at all. He's never come back for another Terminator, yet he signs off on half the stuff as a producer anyway. So
it's true, and why not? It funds his excursions and shit, and that's what he really wants to do.
Hey, Titanic, King of the World. There we go, baby.
That's twice now. Twice we're talking about better movies to better this shitty podcast.
Woo! That's the game right there. You laid that one right up for me, bro.
You know, there are certain scenes in this movie that make it worth it.
Yeah, like, I'll give you that.
They're that long. That's one of them. And this, like, I don't want to skip too far ahead or like just show the good shit first, but this scene right here
Oh,
where
Brad is so good in this movie. It's so sad.
again, another alien movie where you've got talent like this
All over the
utilized
wazoo.
like
The
that.
cast is fantastic. You got Perlman, you got Dourif, you got Weaver. It's like, it's right fucking there.
Cruise,
What
dude,
the
fucking
fuck, Joss? What were you smoking? And why didn't you give it to the rest of the cast?
why didn't you? They must have, dude. I mean, well, Winona Ryder, she said she signed on like that because she wanted to like teabag her older, or excuse me, her younger brothers. That she got to be, or was it her older brothers? One and two. She wanted to teabag her brothers basically that she was in an alien movie and that they weren't. And I'm like, you know what? Bravo, chick. I get that. I get
Hey,
that.
at that time, I was a big Winona fan. So when I saw she was in this movie, I'm like, yo, on board. Sigourney's back. It had been a little while since I had seen like Aliens 1 through 3. It seemed like, you know what, they're bringing it up to date. Sigourney looks a little older, but they're doing something different with the character. So this could be pretty interesting. It's just unfortunate when you get to the actual movie, it's very directionless. It lacks any like strong narrative to push any sort of character forward or any defining human conflict or anything like the previous movies have done. They've all had some sort of message, some sort of strong motivation for the characters, even the fucking corporations. You get to this one and it's like, oh no, she's a clone, just making aliens. All right, let's kill things, have a couple scares, let's be done with it. But there are good moments in it. It's just, it's not enough to balance out. But I liked Winona, but I didn't like her character, yo. Like, that character just seems so pointless. Like, what the fuck were they really thinking with this movie? I cannot get beyond that. This is going to be the one of the few times when we talk about a movie and I'm like, this movie sucked straight up.
You know, I
But we're
really
going to have fun with it anyway.
Of course we are. When something sucks, we hit it hard. It's our way of saying, we watched you, we saw you, now watch us.
Maybe I've been keeping up on current events, but we just got our asses kicked, pal.
By Alien Resurrection.
That's true. It's watching the quadrilogy in succession as we did really makes me reiterate how I felt when I was like 13 and 14 years old. Aliens is a cool fucking movie.
Yep.
That's it. That's it.
And in my book, the first two are cool as shit. When you get to the third one, you get to the fourth one, no, I'm out.
The fourth one, again, I'm only in for Chucky and I'm in for the creature effects.
Yeah. Oh yeah, like your picture, the practical effects, the suits were pretty cool. I wasn't too sure about the silver teeth thing going on, but overall the design was cool. And then you had Brad Dourif playing like nice nasty doctor who gets killed in like the first 30 minutes of the fucking movie. Like, you seemed like you were setting up some great bad guy here, and hi, doctor.
Hi, doctor. Ah! He is back in the special edition. He gets cocooned. Yeah, and he is just completely 5150, batshit crazy. And that's great because, again, it's that scene-chewing monologue, and it's not as bad or as good, whichever way you want to look at it, to say like Exorcist 3, but it's certainly wonderful to hear the dialogue, and you can't go wrong with it. It's just that the movie itself, as you said, was directionless and sucked. So it's like the fact that he gets brought back was a deleted scene. Why waste your talent? Why waste that scene, which was the only reason to do the scene was his narrative? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, it definitely felt like there was a lot of missteps in this one, as opposed to like David Fincher's, where it just seemed like the studio just kept messing around. Resurrection just felt like did you even have a plan at all? Alien 3 at least felt like it had a plan, and it was at least trying to be an alien movie. This didn't feel like it was even trying. It felt like it was trying to do something completely different that had nothing to do with the Alien franchise at all. Hell, they even made it the point of Weyland Yutani got bought out by fucking Walmart. Like, honestly, that I didn't even remember that line. And when I heard that, I'm like, wow, y'all just dated yourself to the 90s, you fucking morons. Way to go.
Yep. They would have just had that with like a Blockbuster in there or something else completely redonkulous like that.
Hey, if we're doing product placement, I got some great ideas for Alien. Throw a Pepsi machine back there. Throw a Peng's trophy back there for Dead Space fans. Hey, let's really get into it now, At this point, you might as well have introduced the fucking Predators in the background of this fucking movie,
Well, that's what was supposed to have happened initially. This was supposed to be a AVP. Alien 4 was not supposed to be a thing in general. Sigourney was not supposed to be back. This was supposed to be the comic book to AVP, the first one.
Yeah.
And you got that little fucking sprinkle of it when you saw Broken Tusk in Predator 2. You saw the alien skull in Broken Tusk's trophy room in Predator 2. So this, you were all excited because Alien 3 sucked ass. I mean, it is what it is. But to your point, it is more of an alien movie than, say, this is. What this turned out to be was Joss Whedon wanting to pitch Firefly while saying, oh, okay, yeah, I read a couple of the Dark Horse comics. Let's make it like that. We'll put them in my Firefly show. There was a lot of the space pirates that were crossing over.
Yeah, well, it felt like he was trying to get, like his style involved, but it just didn't come out like at all. Normally, he's known for some really good character relationships and development of characters, evolving characters, complicated shades of gray. There was like none of that in this fucking movie. I do not know what happened to his script, but this did not feel like a Joss Whedon movie. It felt like some bad version of a Firefly script that he threw away. And he's like, I'll try that for this fucking movie and see if Fox goes for it. Just get him off my ass.
Mm-hmm. And they did, which was great. This failed, but he went on to do well up until recently. But he got into a pissing match publicly with the director because basically
I remember this.
See, this I missed. I didn't realize it until just recently, where he was saying that they didn't change anything too terribly. They just didn't do it right. Like, they got all the lines, they just didn't say them right. And I understand how that can go. Like, if he's not directing it, the other director's not going to get the voice in his head. That's just what happens.
When they have a line like this,
to get off this boat.
That was the wrong inflection?
It could have been.
Huh.
It could have been. So
where was Morena Baccarin for that role? Because I think she would have done that a little bit better.
I don't know that she would have said it that well. Maybe in Deadpool she would have, but
too true. Yeah, it's unfortunate. Like, Joss and the director just didn't get along like at all. And then when he saw the finished product, he's like, "This is not the damn script I wrote," but it is at the same time. But Fox wasn't willing to give him the director reins. If they had, we might have gotten a little bit of a different movie. I still don't know if it would have come across right, especially in the ending. And I don't mean to jump so far forward, but like how it ends is they're on Earth, which they've basically been saying for the whole movie is a shithole. That's not exactly what people wanted out of an Aliens on Earth movie for a potential fifth one, or an Alien versus Predator movie where the Earth is some shithole. Are you kidding me? Is this not Weyland Yutani's home planet and everything's corporate? The whole planet looked like it got blown up in a nuclear fest on Planet of the Apes.
Yeah, it was like the end of the original version of Army of Darkness, where Ash slept too long.
Bingo.
And they're just kind of like,
is there not a more creative idea than this, please?
Yeah, and then they're saying that they'll be looking for us soon. The military is going to be looking for us. What should we do? Well, I don't know. I'm a stranger here, too. It's like, The whole fucking planet is a cave now. Find one. Like
You're near the Eiffel Tower. I'm sure there's a tunnel underneath the city you could fucking find. Just saying.
The Opera House. Aha!
Just don't lose an ear in the Opera House. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, we should put that on the list.
Probably not sponsored by the French Opera. La 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 la.
I was talking about the Robert Englund movie. That one was fun.
Oh, Phantom of the Opera? Yeah, that was pretty dope.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's somebody you could have put in this movie. Robert Englund. He still probably wouldn't have signed on for this shit show, though.
I don't know. I'd still like to see him and Brad together. That'd be fun.
Him and Brad would be super dope.
Yeah.
That's
Some
what's
goddamn network TV show. Get on that, damn it.
Yeah, get on that.
Chucky.
Or actually give us a real Alien versus Predator movie. That'd be pretty okay, too.
I would love a screen adaptation of that first 4-issue comic. That was cool as hell.
That
It
is
really
like
was.
basically the fastball down the middle of what should have happened here.
Well,
If
it
you
was
ain't gonna
kind
give
of
us a
like
true Alien movie, stick to material that is proven to have won over, even with a segment of fans. That means there's something there you can build from. You can add to it. Don't take too much away. You can adapt it and make it work for the screen. Unfortunately, Fox had no interest in that at all, as evidenced by what happened with this movie. Oh, we're going to maybe do Alien versus Predator? Nah, fuck that. We're going to bring Sigourney back. We're going to give her a blank check, and we're going to put aliens on Earth for Alien 5, which never fucking happened.
blank check. That blank check turned out to be $11 million.
Wasn't enough for this movie, in my opinion, but what do I know?
There was so much goofy in this movie, like straight up goofy. Like why would you do that? The cocoon scene where she's trying to break out of like the nylon cocoon that she wasn't born in. They just wrapped her up in it.
Yeah. It was kind
It's
of
stupid.
weird. It's like, what are we doing here? And that's just being straight up honest. That's not trying to make a shtick. It's
No, it's when it
what are we doing here? Like, honestly,
had nothing to the movie.
yeah, it really added like nothing. The scene with all the different clones, that was pretty interesting. The different more mutations and everything that they tried to do. I know you got a screen for us coming up soon. And like, man, it's just some wild stuff. And that's where I think they could have gone into a little bit more of the horror aspect of this movie. Because otherwise, there's like no scares in this movie, and the gore is at a minimum. I think ultimately that's the big failure of this movie. It's not scary at fucking all.
No.
At all.
Yeah, they wanted to like straight up make it like a sci-fi-ish version of the comic books, and not the first ones. Later on. And here's Ripley number 6, 7, I think, who had hairy
Hello,
pits.
my baby. Hello, my goddamn gal.
Had straight up
please.
hairy armpits, and it's like, oh yes, that's right. The director was French.
Sometimes you need to shave those pits.
The only part of this movie that I found any part disturbing was the scene where the military was starting their experiments on growing the aliens when they got what the pirate cargo was all human beings, and they put them over all of these eggs. And that part was, they had very quiet music, and it was all very suspenseful because you know that they were going to open up at some point. You know,
Oh, yeah.
everybody's SOL. But
Yeah, you know what those are and what they're doing.
Yeah, and it just took a little while, and they didn't bother not showing things. And that part I appreciated.
Yeah.
But moments like that were far and few in between.
Right.
There was
that's where I say like there's good moments, and that's one of those good, interesting moments. Like, but they're so sprinkled so far and few between, it's hard to feel like it was any sort of coherent movie in any regard.
Yeah, not really. You couldn't really get attached to any of the characters. None of the characters really jived well together.
Even like Perlman's character is like, yo, what are we doing in this movie with him? Just is he waiting for Hellboy to come around or Sons of Anarchy?
I loved this part here, though. I don't know why. Like, the look on her face was like such a unamused mother talking to one of the children. And it was like,
that's right. You're going to go sit in the corner, you little shit.
Or you're going to get what this one's getting right here.
I'm going to feed it to the queen if you keep that up, bro.
The queen was cool. Momentarily. We got her in the
for
background.
a moment until she got killed by the albino.
No.
Oh, fuck.
Until she got pregnant. Like, they made her pregnant, like, ridiculously chunk. Like, come on, girls. She didn't feel good. She was real pregnant. And then she's
only 20 months along. Like, give her a break.
Yeah, it gives like a full-grown adult birth to this alien hybrid that has human eyes, like big boobies with no nipples, and a stomach that had to be CG'd out because it was too graphic. Fox decided it was too graphic to show, but it was too expensive to fix. So they just had to CG a stomach over this hermaphroditic human bits and pieces.
I can't with this movie, dude. Oh my god. I'd rather watch Alien versus Predators. I'd rather watch Prometheus and Alien Covenant over this movie.
Yeah.
What does it say when I am willing to admit Alien Covenant is a better movie than this? And I hate that fucking movie too.
I didn't watch that one. And I hadn't seen.
Certainly looks pretty, but the story ain't fucking there. And I like Fassbender. He needs to choose better scripts.
Come back to X-Men when they bring it all.
So does Brad, for all that matter. Like, dude, you got your ass stuck in some horrible Halloween movies too.
It happens.
You got zombied is what happened.
But
the creature design for that hybrid kid was fucking horrible.
It was.
Mama, and the CGI of the damn thing getting blown out the fucking window at the end was so bad.
Splorch.
So bad. It made Deep Rising look like an Oscar winner.
It did kind of, yeah. It was pretty bad.
And Kevin's gonna agree with me. Huh?
Yeah, and it's not hard to shoot like hamburger meat out something and like make it look a lot more disgusting than what it can. Anyway, but it was a missed opportunity. They said that they didn't want to use CGI for the ships because it wouldn't make the ships look realistic.
That's fine. I guess.
But at what point in this movie did the CGI work?
Never.
None of it. The only part that really worked for me was the part that you see them swimming and their tails are propelling them like an alligator's would.
See, that's another one of those moments that I totally agree with that actually work in this movie very well.
Mm-hmm. Like they were able to make the xenomorphs move. You see their whole bodies move. Like you would see the fucking Muppets and you're like, oh, that's cool.
It's like something unique. All right. There we go. We're getting somewhere. And then you get the next thing and you're like, and there it goes. It's like some horrible sex with like your ex. Like, oh, that was great for 2 minutes until, oh, you're done? Shit, I was just getting started, bitch.
Well, time to go home.
Yep. All right, zip it up. Let's go.
Next. I mean,
that's basically this movie. Zip it up and go home. Leave the popcorn, leave the soda. Clearly, it's not drugged enough for you to enjoy this movie at the theater. Because the box office sucked on this movie. And we didn't get another Alien movie for how long?
13 years.
Bingo.
That's how long it took them from this to be like, you know what? This one will do really well, and then we'll make that AVP movie. 13 years, y'all. Like,
yeah.
And AVP, while better than this,
Yeah.
was not all that in the bag of chips. It was not.
I had high hopes for
what
that
we
fucking
wanted.
movie too.
It's stupid because you know what we wanted? No dialogue. Really no humans. That's not what we wanted.
Pretty much. I like Paul W.S. Anderson, but like that just did
Sure.
not work for me on that one. He needed to stick with Resident Evil, and like that was fine.
Yeah. But
And he
Fox
did.
has a track record of trying to, we're going to make this one the one. But
This
we-
is gonna be the one to break like $1 billion. No.
Yeah, because this one, they're like, you know what? Pay Sigourney Weaver, whatever. This was supposed to involve Newt. The original script involved Newt being cloned.
Ugh.
They said, no, pay Sigourney Weaver whatever she wants. And she's like, you guys can't afford whatever I want. So they handed her $11 million, and she's like, maybe you can.
Negotiating tactics 101. You can't afford me. Oh, that's what you're offering? Well, I guess you maybe are in the ballpark. Bring it up another million or two, and we can do this thing.
Yep, but then they fuck with it, and they fuck with it, and they fuck with it, and they get a director that's nobody at the time. So that person has no fucking say so to like fire back the studio for anything.
At least Cameron had some fucking experience with good fucking movies before he got Aliens.
Well,
So did Ridley, for fuck's sake. Both of them were accomplished directors before they took on an Alien movie, each in their own right. And Fincher would definitely go on to be an acclaimed director. No offense to this director, but what the fuck has he done ever since? Basically nothing as far as big feature films. So it shows that he couldn't handle big feature films. And I know you're fighting against Fox. You're talking the big monolith of fuckery. Well, Jesus Christ, if Fincher can handle dealing with their asses, and it takes him a couple of years, at least he kept on fucking going and he made something out of his career. Now, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, and y'all want to throw a comment below, fucking do it. I don't give a shit. This director accomplished fucking nothing after this movie.
I don't know anything about that beyond the tit for tat fight that he and Whedon had.
Yeah.
His response to all that shit was Whedon only makes movies for American geeks. And part of me is
He's
like,
not exactly wrong because he did Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
yeah, and that's about it. But geek, dude, we're nerds. Geeks eat the heads off of living fish and birds.
Nerds know their shit, bro.
Yeah. Anyway, we would have looked that shit up first.
Yeah.
Damn right.
Whenever I do that clip, and I always throw you.
That's because I've grown up hearing that from my friends. Like, you have no idea. Well, you do. You grew up in California too, so.
Yes, I did for a little bit of time. I want to like this movie. I can't. And the other problem I had with this movie, and I'm not sorry for bagging on this movie. It was a shit show. The movie's also fucking boring. Let's just be straight up honest with everybody here. This movie is boring as fuck in the middle, like 45 minutes. It took me 4 nights to try and get through 45 fucking minutes of this movie to get to the last like 20 minutes where, oh, that's right, this movie ended like that. So it's got a serious middle act problem in this movie, and I don't know why. It's more than the script. It's more than the director. Something happened in the editing bay. It feels like y'all could have tweaked this a lot better. I think the editing failed on this movie as well.
Oh, I'm sure. I mean, as it does with fucking studio fuckery.
Yeah.
I watched this bitch 3 times this week. I did exactly what I said I wasn't going to do.
Power to you, bro. Jesus.
No, I want my life back. Like, I could have been watching Fallout or something else.
I got 2 more episodes left on that.
I don't. I'm still on episode 4. I'm way behind.
Yeah. Well, if anybody's keeping track, there's still an Alien TV show on track for Hulu at some point later this year or next year, I believe. And then we're still getting Alien Romulus coming up from Fede Alvarez. So maybe in the grand scheme of things, getting a new Alien movie might be okay. It's been long enough since Covenant, and hopefully people are a little more excited for that. The only thing I'd say otherwise is I kind of still like Neil Blomkamp's idea where he was going to go back to doing a proper Alien 3 follow-up where it would be Michael Biehn, Sigourney Weaver, and the actress of Newt grown up.
Yeah, man.
And giving us a proper sequel.
With the exception of Sigourney, I think the other two are totally down. They always were.
You know what Sigourney says? I'm not interested. You can't pay me enough. Well, maybe they would.
Sprinkle that money on her. Sprinkle.
Hey, if she's willing to do a Defenders TV show for Marvel on Netflix years ago, I'm sorry, miniseries, then she could probably be convinced to come back around.
That's right. She was not Madam Hydra. She was in charge
Something.
of the hand. Yeah, over Madam Gao. I was like,
that was very disappointing because I thought she'd crush it. But, you know, you could still bring her back. It'd be very interesting to see if they could ever do that. I know a lot of people had their hearts when they heard like what Neil Blomkamp was planning, production art and everything. Michael Biehn was totally on fucking board. It sounded like pretty fucking dope stuff was going to be happening, and it just never came through. Poor Neil. I think he would have done all right by fans and by hardcores.
I agree. And I honestly don't think Fox will ever get the Alien franchise right. If Fede Alvarez, if his movie doesn't do well, Fox has no chance of ever doing this franchise right.
You mean Fox Disney? So the Alien Queen is a Disney Queen, everybody.
Elsa. But
we'll show you a Frozen Queen, bitch.
Biznitch. Yeah. But I don't know. I really want Fide's movie to be a good one. I do. Because I want to like the Alien franchise. I just apparently don't.
I know. Like I've said, I love Alien 1 and 2, and I like Alien 3. This is the first one where I'm like, shit, I like a couple things in it, but for the most part, it's not a likable movie. It's really hard to find something strong that runs through the whole movie. Performances aren't there. I blame the director because you got quality actors all the way through this movie. You can't point at them and be like, oh, they phoned it in. Well, the director was okay with their performance. That's on him. He's the boss. He should have said something else or done something more. Sigourney is a producer on this fucking movie. She had a voice to say something too, and she didn't. And if she did, I don't see where it was in this movie. You could see where it was in Alien 3. What the hell happened to her voice in this movie? Because if she had a say, then where the fuck did that go? And then you got Whedon and the director bitching together. Like, it was just a complete train wreck. And it's the example of what not to do with a franchise. And it's just unfortunate that Alien Resurrection was basically it came to a head and a boiling point, and it burst. And there went the legacy of the Alien franchise, in my opinion. Hopefully, like you said, with Fede, we can get some of that back. We had the great Alien Isolation game. The comic books have been pretty good throughout the years. We still have an Alien versus Predator comic book series that could still be adapted and still do just fine if they ever choose to do it and pay royalties to the original writers. That's the only reason they haven't done it. It's because Disney's done that to other people too. They don't want to pay the Star Wars EU writers their royalty checks by making movies off of that. So they're bastardizing the EU canon books, which I guess are no longer canon, or maybe they are now. Who knows? But like, they're treating Alien the same freaking way because Disney bought Fox. And so things, the more they change, the more they stay the same.
Uh-huh. Oh, well.
Kevin. Oh, yeah, go ahead.
I'm not going to miss this franchise per se. I think I'm going to stick this right next to part 3. And unless we have to watch it again, never watch it again.
Yeah, I never thought I'd ever watch this one again. It's my quadrilogy as well, but I love the Quadrilogy box set. It's got great, behind the scenes, great stories of what was happening. And of course, I like Alien 3 enough to watch the special edition assembly cut all over again. But this one, I gladly skip almost every time until this time. But we do intend on making it up to everybody. Kevin, got any final thoughts before we clue people in on what's flying in next week?
So yeah, the last 2 weeks have been another colossal example of, dear God, what have we done?
Yep.
So we want to thank you and reward ourselves starting
Right.
for the mental anguish we put ourselves through. Starting next ZPR episode. So next Tuesday, we're going to go 0 Point Reviews, The Crow, starring Brandon Lee. Absolutely not the 2024 version. And then the next day, immediately after that, I think, is that next week? Yeah, we're going to be doing The Crow at part 1 for Stairway to Heaven.
The television show starring Mark Dacascos.
That's right. That's right. Super excited about that. Super duper.
Yep. Taking flight. We hope to have some fun guests and a good time.
That's true. And we hope we're not going to have to apologize for anything else like this for the rest of the year. It doesn't look like we're gonna.
No, yeah. We were just rounding out Alien Month, and this seemed like a good ending point without going into AVP or anything else after that.
We should have, goddammit. We probably just should have.
We'll save that for a time when we really need to cover shit shows again.
Next April.
Yep. We'll save it for April next year. Alien Month. Next year, we will do Alien versus Predators 1 and 2, and maybe we'll just throw in Predator 1, 2, 3, and 4. I really don't want to watch The Predator, though. That's the Shane Black movie.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, no, I'm good.
I don't know. Anybody want us to do that? Throw a comment down below. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Again, hit the like button. Did you like this video? You not like this video? That's cool too. We don't mind. We don't always cover the movies you want to hear, but we do cover the movies that will entertain you the best and we have fun talking about. So hit the subscribe button. Hit the little bell notification. We'll see you all on the next one as we take flight with Brandon Lee and Alex Proyce's The Crow. Make sure you check us out on all of our social media platforms. We got Facebook, Twitter. We are at Suns and Shadows. We're also on Instagram at Suns and Shadows Cast. We are at SunsAndShadows.com. Thank you again, everybody, and we'll see you down the road.